Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on our authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hello, I'm Rotha Dawkins, and that's why everybody wanted me to tell them my middle name. That's for Joy, that middle J. From Thomasville, North Carolina, thank you for joining us today and for joining us all week. It's been a real pleasure to be with you and answer some questions, and we hope that you'll be writing in and letting us help you out to understand what we're doing and how we do it. I'm the author of On Call and also of Treats and Tales. These are two books that I have written. The first one I wrote was, I believe I wrote Treats and Tales before On Call. But I think that you will enjoy both of these books, and we would love for you to go out and call into Barnes & Noble and to the publisher and see if you can't connect yourself with us, because we want to do everything we can to get our books out there and let you share with us. And I know that you'll find a lot of joy and a lot of comfort, and be sure and buy you some Christmas presents too. They'll be great gifts. And the good thing is they're for all audiences. They're not for just one. Let me talk to you just a little bit about Treats and Tales first. I'll show you what Treats and Tales looks like. It's about little puppy dogs. You've got a Chihuahua, and you have others there too. And I think you'll enjoy sharing this with your friends. And it's not a child's book. It's a book for everybody. So if you like animals and you like puppies and you like kitties, you'll enjoy this book. Inside that book, we also have a large amount of recipes for dogs. You can make your own doggy popsicles. Most dogs love that. You know, when you get your ice cream, you feel bad when you're trying to eat in front of them. And, you know, they have that tongue licking around their little lips, and they're saying, Mama, please let me have a little bit of that. So you can give them this safely, and you can eat them too. So if the little baby grabs the popsicle from the puppy, it's okay. They can do that too. And so, also, we have the how to make doggy clothes. That's very, very much fun for lots of people. You can take some of your old T-shirts or dresses or whatever you choose to do with and make clothes out of it. We have the patterns that are laid out inside to where you can make your own sizing, and you take your dog, measure it, and fix your patterns accordingly. My dog wears clothes most of the time. Summertime, I leave them off of her because I think the weather's not conducive to pet clothes. They get hot. So you don't want them panting and breathing too heavy in the summertime. In the wintertime, it's all hands off for anything they want to wear. My dog wears coats over dresses, so that makes it fun too. In the book, you have those things demonstrated how to fix them and how to make them and how to enjoy them. And when people see you walking around the street with a dog on a leash and there it is in a cute little dress, they say, "Oh, what a cute little baby." And they are our babies. Our dogs love to be our babies. They talk to us. And in the book, the dogs talk, people talk to each other and to people all throughout the whole story of Red's Little Red and her friends. Little Red is a dachshund in the book, and her friends are everybody, all kinds of dogs. They meet at the dog pound, and then they decide that, well, we're going to get killed if we stay here, because unfortunately, dog pounds have that to do, and they have to. Some are different than others, but we try to sell most of the animals or give them homes and get them homes, and then they go from there. So you would enjoy this book in the aspect that one dog has puppies just before they're trying to break out, and of course she probably got into the dog kennel because of the fact that she was expecting babies. So that makes for something really fun and great to watch how the dogs go out and how they dig out of the place and go out. So if you see dogs that have dug out of pounds and so forth, well, they don't want to ever come back, so they'll be on their best behavior for you. And I know that you should visit your canines immediately. In our town, we have about 7 canines that are police dogs, and they are very expensive dogs. They're not dogs that dig out from the dog pound. They're dogs that are looked after by our police department. They probably cost about $20,000 to $30,000 to get one of them put into the police department to aid in drugs and different things that they have to do, finding people who are lost and children who are lost, and then going out for community service is what a lot of these animals are eligible to do. We have about in our area, we have about 15 different services for the pets. And of course, our fire department, they had a dog at one time, and they're in the process, hopefully, having one. In Treats and Tales, they do have a Dalmatian that is very smart. He's smarter than the people in a way, but he's real cute, and you'll love that. And if you are interested in, if you're interested also in the police department, our fire department and police department having animals that work for them too, On Call does talk about some of that. Let me show you the book On Call. This is a book I've made this one right after the other one. It was a very difficult book to write, but I have really enjoyed it. So let me get to a question here that is about On Call. Mark Castor 22. Okay, I just got your On Call book. It's amazing that it's got some recipes. Cheeseburger on the Run is one of the best. Yes, that's a great one. And I wrote that recipe when I was driving a truck in the past. I've done that too. But I wrote that because you can have a cheeseburger and grab it and go on the run and stop in some fuel joint, and they'll let you heat it in their microwave. So feel free to enjoy all these recipes. They are fun. And Curie Endo says hello. Thank you for writing in. We're glad to hear from both of you and look forward to you sharing in the Festival of Storytellers that you can learn and experience, and also order these books. We want you to. That'll be our success, and you'll enjoy being a part of it. Kenuber Australia says, hi, Rotha. It's nice to see you again, and I'm glad to see you too. Thank you for spending time with us. And Darnell Darrell TV says, hello, Rotha. Puts a picture up there, and I'm going to look at that a little bit later. And said, Well, thank you, Mark Castor. You said I'm looking awesome. I try my best. It's not always easy, but if I get up before 8 o'clock, I can find all my tools that it takes to get pretty for you. So thank you all for writing in. We love to hear from you. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of you maybe up in New York when we go for our conference up there next week. Uh, Treats and Tales is a great little book, and I know that those of you who have one will enjoy Treats and Tales for most everyone. I had a little kid that came in last week that had lost his Treats and Tell book, so he was so grateful that we have a new Treats and Tell available to purchase. So they ordered several of them so that he could get some. He said he didn't want his sister and brother to steal it from him. We have someone, Precious. I have a question, Rotha. Why do you think dogs have wet noses? Well, I don't know. Maybe they sweat through them, or maybe it's something to pick up things with. You know how it's hard for us to pick things up with our hands. Maybe he takes his nose and sticks it on a piece of paper and picks it up, or maybe a piece of candy and he eats it. So we hope that will help the thing with wet nose. I saw a little boy one day taking a handkerchief and he was trying to dry the dog's nose. He didn't think that the dog's nose should be wet, but they are. They're nice and wet most of the time. Once in a while they'll run dry, but I guess it's because they're a little bit dehydrated. So that's always interesting to find that they have these devices that God built in them to take care of them, and they're fun little critters, aren't they? And I know that you love yours. I love all dogs. I have some Dalmatians uh, in the past in my life, and they were always fun. Always fun to put clothes on because those little spots show above the solid colors of pink or red or whatever. And Precious is saying, why do dogs walk in a circle before they lay down? Well, I guess it's because they're padding the area and checking it out and making sure that it's going to be fit for their precious little body. You know, they have to uh, make but mine does that too. And I've seen all dogs that like turn in a circle, and they also turn in a circle before they find a place to go out to potty. So when they go outside to potty or potty in their little unit that they have inside, they will do that little full circle 3 or 4 times before they go ahead and continue with what they're doing. So they are kind of fun, and they do these things, and they're creatures of habit and creatures of nature, but they don't usually walk in circles when they want to lick you in the lips. So mine does lots of that too, and I'm sure yours does. But you'll enjoy that Treats and Tells in the fact that the recipes are good and you can eat with them on that too. Let me talk to you just a little bit about On Call. On Call been is reveals life in the fire departments, uh, the insight of the fire department and what they're doing. Your fire people, I have a lot of people that have asked me, how do I get into a fire department? Well, uh, age is one thing, so consider that. But you need to go to your fire stations or firehouse and see if there's an application to join in and study it. And one thing that if you're not that familiar with fire science, maybe you should go to a county department and maybe join in one of them, and you can get some experience and some know-how and watch what's going on, and then eventually you would become a part of their department. So I know that the fire departments all are needing personnel, and the police departments and all the departments in every town is needing terribly all kinds of people to work in their areas, whether it's first aid or ambulance service or fire department or police department or city hall. There's all kinds of jobs in the cities. They're not the highest paying job, but they're a good certain quality job with lots of interests and lots of things that you can learn to do and be able to do. there's ongoing classes for firefighters, for all the personnel in the fire department. So think in terms of that. Women are very welcome with open arms to join fire departments. And, you do have to spend your 24 hours if you're on list, and that puts you on call for lots of things. And that's why you'll enjoy this book on call. It'll give you some insight on how they do, what happens when they go, without you having to jump in your car and chase a fire truck to see what they're doing, because they're not going to be doing what you actually what actually is being seen. They're doing a lot behind the scenes and under the scenes and over, and taking risks and going in and saving lives and saving cats, and going out and doing all kinds of things that really make a difference to all of our lives. And I know that you will enjoy uh, reading this book from the standpoint of learning about what they're doing, and then also uh, maybe making a decision to join with, or maybe you have a friend who is interested in joining with the fire department. So I would consider uh, fire science is great, and any of the municipal jobs, and of course the county systems also that have fire departments. A lot of them have paying jobs too, so it's not all just volunteer, but it's a good place to start. That's where my son started. We had a fire in our yard, and we had to call the people to come and help us to uh, get the fire out. By the time they got there, I think we about had it, but we didn't want it to spread on into the woods. So anyhow, they came, got the fire out, and they thought my son did great. He was about 15 at the time. So they asked Bill if he would join consider joining the uh, fire department over there, Pilot Fire Department. No, that was not Pilot. It was Southmont Fire Department. Then it was Pilot. But anyhow, that was kind of the place where he started. But when he was 3 years old, he wanted to be a fireman, and he wore his little fire hat and his little fire suit all over the place till it fell off of him. But it's always a good thing to encourage. If a child is saying, I want to do something that with my life in this particular thing, encourage them. Don't back off. Anne Marie, thank you for writing in, and we appreciate you joining us. And I see you're interested in joining a fire department, and I have just given you some advice, but don't stop. Go. If one person says no, well, then go to several others. Or if one is not exactly what you would like, they'll be happy to give you a tour and give you pointers and give you any information that they have on file there. So please don't let go. And Daryl says, hi, Rotha, what kind of research do you do, and how long do you spend researching before beginning a book? Well, research is everyday maintenance for a person if you're writing. I like to think about what I'm doing, but also it sort of hits you that you I sometimes, I often, most time, will come up with the title of a book first. That seems to do the thing that rings my bell. And if you're, I'd say I don't really, I have pre-checked most of things as I go along. I do have another book right now on gardening that the publishers have asked me to do, and I've been pulling out my resources, and I get books and read about it. And I am a gardener, so that gives me a little spin on what I need to be doing with this too. Plus, I try to write my book different than somebody else. If I'm writing a novel, then I try not to watch very much television, maybe some old things, but that's about the only thing that I do with that. And Mark Hester is saying, what would your best tip to us that is planning to be an author? Well, first of all, you got do decide that you want to do this, and then make you an outline and make you a decision as to what you want to write about. You can't write about electric business when you're trying to write something on securities. So it depends, and research somewhat so that you'll be most comfortable in your plan of it. Research a little bit about what books in your nature have been written. If you're writing about fire departments, as I did, I researched. There's not a whole lot of books about this. There's magazines, there's articles. Fire departments, they all have all kinds of articles, but this is not a 9/11 book. This book is about ordinary people doing a big job for their departments, and it's not something you take a different slant on things. It's not like the TV uh, fire departments where they rush out. They rush out too. We do the little departments. They rush out just as much as the big ones rush out, but they rush and they've got a whole city burning. So they've got 50 trucks coming in from the end of the world to help them. And we're lucky if we can get the county next door to come and help us. But we do it. And remember, whenever you're writing, study that a little bit, what you plan to write about. Maybe make a diagram of 10 things that you want to cover in your book, maybe 20. And those can basically be chapters that you put in there. Let me show you On Call again. This is our book On Call. Yesterday I did a reading on it, and you can't get but just a little passage when you read a couple little paragraphs. But anyhow, you will enjoy this, and you see there's ladies, there's one rescuing, and the big man coming through, and the fire is all over the place. But we do need our On Call, and I think this will help you to understand what's going on with fire departments, whether or not you want to be a firefighter or whether you want to support them. The books that are the book here has lots of great recipes. As one person wrote in, said he liked cheeseburger on the run. It is, and we have some great ones. I have some of Grandma's recipes, and that is something that they do at the firehouses every day almost. They take food, Grandma, Grandpa, go to the firehouse and visit their family that's there. Otherwise, family may not have a whole lot of time together throughout the week. They go in, they may have, depends on the fire department, but our fire department is on 4 days, off 4 days. That's 24 hours, on, and then you'll have the time off too. But I mean, you've 24 hours a day, they work round the clock. They also go, no matter what you're doing when you're at the fire station, if the bells go off, the whistles are screaming, and everything's happening, you jump up from your food or from your bed or from wherever you are. If you have a visit, and you go ahead and you jump on into your turnout gear, which is right next to the truck. The doors roll up. They start announcing where you're going on the speakers, and you're in your place, and the driver rolls out the firehouse, and you, of course, are there ready to go, and they will tell you what to do. And Brian Rabin, thank you for writing in. We appreciate that, and you're interested in knowing what it does take to be a good fireman. Dedication is one thing, the desire to do it, and of course the knowledge and study the whole time. There's always something coming up. You have meetings, you have information. There's always something coming up all the time to teach you and to help you to become a great firefighter. And that's what everybody needs, is a great firefighter, a safe firefighter. We want you to know how to be safe in your job. And of course, they supply you, these turnout gears are all safety built, and they're supposed to protect you. Red S is telling me, glad to see you live, Rotha. Thank you. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you for writing in. We really love having you people to join us and be part of what we're doing. It makes us feel good to know that you're interested in what we're doing. And of course, Reader's Magnet has done a wonderful job, and they've gotten us so that the both of our books here are available with the the Treats and Tales and the On Call. Both of these books are done through Reader's Magnet, and they're on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and they'll get these books to you real quick. So don't be bashful. Just jump in and get it quick. And I think that it can help you one way or another, whether it's taking care of your pets or taking care of your firefighters. Everybody go down to the fire station today and take them a batch of cookies and some candy. They'll love you for it, and they will certainly look after your neighborhood and your homes and your businesses. So that's all vitally important for all of us. The book Treats and Tales, it does have cute little pictures in there of different dogs, different animals, and I might read you just a little piece out of this. Let's see if I can find a little page. Oh, it says, "Cat hissed, 'Shh, Peppy.' The dog followed the sound. The cat emerged with a smile and ran to Rosie. He flipped his tail and wrapped it around Rosie's legs. She bent down and picked him up. Happily, she kissed his big head. 'Cat, where have you been? I've missed you. Peppy's home, too.' This is when the dogs were had left the pound. One of them found Rosie, who was his or her parent, and the cat was nearby. So they got to talk about going with Rosie to a nursing home, and that's where some of the animals were going. So this is a good book, and you'll love the ending of it. It's real happy and fun, and it shows you how older people, younger people love to have pets. So, grandpa and grandma can have a pet. I'm a grandma, and I have my pet. I have my daughter's pets, and I love it when they go on vacation and I can have an opportunity to hang out with the dogs, and they sleep all over me. And one of them's getting a little age on him, but when his mom and daddy walk out the door, he gets better. They've kind of give him up off and on, and then he comes back. He says, "I'm not gone. I'm here with my grandma." Maybe he'll get to come stay with me all the time because Peppy, my dog, loves him so much. We do want you to join us again. There will be other folks hanging in here for later today, and we want you to call in and keep us going and keep us happy, and write in and buy our books from Barnes & Noble and Amazon, because they're ready for you, and our publisher is getting ready to do a couple more books too. I think you will be a great fit for children's book. Mark Castor 22 says, "Any plans of having one in the future?" Well, please don't make me do more books, but I guess I'll have to. Maybe we'll work on the cats next, but I do love the books. I love to write for the animals and write about the animals, and but I've got to work on what we're eating next. So the next book will be that one. But I have also another book called Connected that's in the process of coming out in a few months. So please hang with us and do everything that you can to tell your friends about us, and you'll find recipes in the book, The On Call, that you will always love, and you'll find probably my best recipe that everybody should try at least one time is the recipe for the pound cake. That's one of my. I bet I've probably made in the past 10 years. I've probably made thousands of pound cakes because I make them for people. It's gifts to people. It's something that you can do, and that also teaches you some things that you can do with that. So, folks, I do appreciate all of you coming out and calling in, writing in, telling us, encouraging us, sharing with us. You're wonderful, and we will see you later on. I'm Rotha Dawkins. I'm from Thomasville, North Carolina, and I'm the author of On Call and Treats and Tales. And I do want to thank all of you for your participation again, and for you being special to us and sharing your life and your interests and your time with us. Thank you very much. I appreciate you buying our books. Thank you very much.